Okay, let's see if you can spot the lie.
Today, the council voted to override the mayor's veto, which leaves 38th and Chicago still without a plan 5 years after George Floyd's death.
You hear that? Lawyers will refer to this method of lying as mitigating the truth or a sanitation of the truth. You're basically telling the truth to a lesser degree, which you may not consider lying, but myself and many others do. See, if I told you that over 1 million Frenchmen died between 1914 and 1918, you'd wonder what the cause was, but I say no, they just died. See, now I'm removing context and the truth that they were in World War I. So when this reporter says the death of George Floyd, it entirely exonerates the cops who murdered him, the court proceedings carried out that found cops guilty of murder, and the fact a black man was publicly lynched. Kevin Doran saying the death of George Floyd is the reason Minnesota has some of the highest racial disparity in education, law enforcement, and employment, because language like that entirely downplays the people responsible for the harm in the first place. The death of Abraham Lincoln, the death of John Lennon, the death of Brian Tyler. You see how ridiculous this sounds when you remove the context that was the causation of the subject's death? It's like when history teachers say the slaves, like black folks just pulled up with the occupation slave already intact.
Slave sounds like something that the person is, as opposed to the condition which somebody else put upon them.
Kevin, in his piss poor journalism or whatever this is, just names a condition. George Floyd died, not the causation of the condition, which was a city paid employee kneeling on his neck for over 9 minutes. Here's a bonus for y'all. There's a second line there as well. The without a plan for George Floyd Square makes me wonder if Kevin gets a Venmo drop from the mayor, because the you mean a plan for George Floyd Square? You want to make a plan? Come down to George Floyd Square, attend a morning or afternoon meeting, or hang out with some community off camera and figure it out for yourself. That Venmo comment was a question, not an accusation. If George Floyd had been murdered on 50th in Chicago, you know you wouldn't be talking about it the same, and we all know why. And here's one for Kevin, since he's from Brainerd. If I told you crime more than doubled in Crow Wing County over the course of 2 years, an audience might think that people in Brainerd are just wilding out for no reason. But if I were doing the job you don't do, Kevin, I'd tell you that meth, opiates, and fentanyl have been ripping through an exceedingly vulnerable community in need of policy, support, and help. You see the difference there, Kevin, between just a part of the truth and the whole thing? Yeah? No, but go on, tell us more about the death of George Floyd. God, how much do they get paid?